Greetings, super friends. Welcome to the Sacred News and Weather. I'm so grateful you're here today. I haven't been here for a while and I want to apologize. The end of the school year has just been absolutely nutty. I mean, it's been delightful and sweet, and I love seeing my big boy grow up. But it's been really hard to get here. We've had half days and we've had Fairfax Festival and all the things happening, and now we're getting ready to take a road trip to San Diego. So I'm packing for that today, but I needed to get in here and deliver a message for all of you because I'm long overdue. I have a feeling that for the summer, it's going to be probably one a week. And if I can, I'm going to try to get to a guided meditation for you while I'm away on my adventure. I've been known to host calls live from the bathroom floor of hotel rooms. I'm staying with some friends for the first part of our trip, and then a hotel room for the second part. So we'll see where I come in live from. But as I like to say, there is no one place more sacred than the other. A bathroom floor is just as special or not special as your regular old meditation cushion, your bed, your bedroom closet, which I have once sat in to listen to a call when my kids were really, really young, and it was the only place I could hide, literally hide. So I got you, I know. And wherever you find your peace, you take it, especially these days. There were three distinct threads of energy that came through for the collective today. And I'm going to try and not have this be an epic message. I'm going to try and keep it. Oh, you might hear my dryer. It just kicked on. I thought it had stopped. I apologize if you hear my dryer in the background. Life is happening. Um, but there were three distinct threads of energy that came through for the collective today. And I'm going to try not to let this be an epic message and try and keep it somewhat contained. But since it has been a while, we'll see where we go. And I also did, just for the heck of it, I started out by drawing some cards today. In the last few messages that we've had, cards have been appearing in my brain, in my being as I was channeling the message. So today I just decided, it's been a while. Where do I start? And so I threw down some cards, which I will share with you as well. But I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes and lean back here for a moment and just take a nice deep breath in to center myself. And I invite you to do the same with me. Hmm. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So, before I even threw down any cards, before I did anything, I just sat down on my meditation cushion as I always do, and I said, please, Spirit, show me the energy of my sweet little YouTube family. Show me what's here for us. Show me what they need to hear today. And I almost immediately moved into grief, into a very heart heavy, body heavy, just soul weary grief. Tears actually came and they want to come now. Um, and I just want to say that I feel it too. It's not just that big Sagittarian strawberry moon in the sky this morning, though that's part of the emotionality of it. That's part of the deep feelingness that you're experiencing or you might be experiencing. But of course, look at what's happening in our country, look at what's happening in the world. And it's just no surprise that we're all feeling so heavy and so full of grief. And so I just want to acknowledge that you're not alone, that I'm here with you. And I hope to, I mean, I'm not going to be able to solve the problem, obviously, or I might not even be able to resolve your grief per se, but I'm hoping to help you hold it a little more comfortably, to experience it as something that can actually be beneficial to your system rather than detrimental to your system, rather than taking its toll on your system. I hope to be able to move us toward allowing it to open and soften and bring you into a frequency of deeper love, which will be a part of the solution, a part of the healing. But I just wanted to acknowledge that deep grief. The other piece that came through with that deep grief, which largely felt related to what's happening in LA, what's happening in our country, what's happening in Gaza, what's happening in the world. It's just a heavy, heavy time. But I also feel like there is someone or someone's, maybe a group of people who have just lost a loved one. And I feel like that loved one came forward. It was very much a patriarch. I didn't recognize who the person was, but it very much had divine masculine energy, an elderly man, someone who was revered, very well loved, someone who was very well tended to by his family, someone who had lived a long and potent and powerful, but also very simple life. A vision of this man, and it wasn't, I didn't see him, but I could feel him with me. I could feel him on the other side. And what I kept hearing was, everyone should go like this. Everyone should go like this. Everyone should go like this. And the feeling was that he was feeling so peaceful and so blessed and so, like, I could feel almost like the warmth of the sun on his face, and I could hear birds chirping, and it felt like he probably passed outdoors. But what he was saying, what it felt like he was saying, with everyone should go like this, everyone should go this way, it felt like he lost a beloved in a different way. So maybe with a hospital stay, maybe with lots of tubes and lots of decisions. And it felt like he was actually comparing his own departure to the departure of his beloved. And if that resonates, I know it's so specific, and it's likely not going to be for most of you here, but if it is for you, I just want you to know that there is so your father, your patriarch, your loved one is very much at peace, and he fully believes that we should all go in the way that he went. So I just want to bring that message through as well. Sorry, I'm just regrouping. There's a feeling of him in, like, just in the very near space, and what I'm being told to do is, which I often hear, is to give him an Our Father, the Lord's Prayer. And what I'm just going to do now, because I don't want to bore you all with the Lord's Prayer, I'm just going to give the Aramaic, the Aramaic opening of the Lord's Prayer, which is not Our Father who art in heaven, but it is Mother, Father, birther of the cosmos. It's that acknowledgement. There is no masculine, there is no Our Father in Aramaic, and I just want to bring that here as well. There is no male God in the language of Jesus. It is Mother, Father. There's no gender, birther of the cosmos. So our Father who art in heaven is Avun Dibashmaya, Avun Dibashmaya. And I'm just going to send this man's energy off so that I can be with you. Avun Dibashmaya. Okay. So the next piece that I want to bring forward to sort of help you hold this grief. First of all, I'll tell you that an image of Kuan Yin came forward. Kuan Yin is divine feminine. She is a goddess. She is the goddess of overflowing compassion. She brings compassion, everlasting compassion, to all who entrust their care in her. And so Kuan Yin came forward in my meditation to just bring compassion to all of us who are holding the grief, to hold us in our grief, and I just wanted to presence that as well. And I want to speak a little bit to the idea of compassion and non-dualism and receptivity here. So the idea of non-dualism. So I'm going to kind of step away from channeling for a minute to give you a little bit of teaching. Non-dualism suggests that we are not separate. And I hold this belief very dearly to my heart, so that if one of us is suffering, we are all suffering. If one of us is experiencing great love, we all are experiencing great love. What we do unto ourselves, we also do unto others. And so, in the spirit of non dualism, in the spirit of we are not separate, in the spirit of we are all deeply and inherently connected, what we are being invited to do, and it's not a do, it's a be, what we are being invited to hold in order to hold what is happening in our world right now is not necessarily to go out and do, which I know I don't want you to think that I'm telling you to not go out and be an activist and not go out and do your part. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is that in your grief, in this time of heaviness, sometimes the right action to take is not to go out and do the thing. It's really to tend to your own heart. It's really to tend to your own spirit. And this is what I was shown we are being invited to do here. And I can hear where there's going to be some resistance, like, oh, yeah, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. And that's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm suggesting is that we cannot act from a place of integrity, from a place of authenticity, if we are not tending to our own hearts and to our own grief and to our own spirit. And I do believe inherently in the power of prayer, in the power of sending love through what I call the crystalline grid. For some of you, you can envision like the mycelium, the mycelium of a mushroom running deep beneath the earth. For me, I actually see like a quartz crystal grid that runs beneath the earth. And I bring my love, I bring my universal love. I move universal love through me and through this grid, through the mycelium to reach those that need it most. And I know that it sounds very airy fairy to some of you, and that's okay. I'm inviting you to trust me and to try it. And so we're going to probably go there today at the end of our time together. But I wanted to let you know that we are being invited to let go of that like pushing forward energy that I have to do something, I have to do something, I have to do something. Because what I saw in that doing energy, that I have to do something energy, is like things falling away and things getting like more chaotic, like the needful things falling away, and a little bit of getting lost in the chaos. Like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I have to do something. I have to do something. And in that like spiraling up, we lose the thread. We lose what we are actually supposed to do in the chaos of trying to figure out what to do. And there's an invitation to really lean back and allow ourselves to be held and allow ourselves to be and allow ourselves to connect with our heart and to visualize our own receptivity. That's that word, the word receive, receptivity came through so clearly. And it might seem in direct opposition for of activism, of doing something. And I just want you to know that it's actually not. We cannot give. We cannot give if we cannot receive. We give from an empty tank. We give from an empty vessel. We give from an empty cup if we are trying to give when we don't have enough for ourselves. And again, I want to clarify that this is not I'm not suggesting spiritually bypassing this right now. This is not like, oh, I'm just going to send my love, beam my love to Los Angeles, beam my love to Gaza, beam my love to the Sudan, and that's going to be enough. That's not what I'm saying. We do need to take very particular action. But if you are finding yourself in the grief, if you're finding yourself spinning, if you're finding yourself feeling like I have to do something, I have to do something, I have to do something, lean back, take a deep breath, allow yourself to connect with spirit and with the Divine Mother, with that Mama Earth energy and spirit, and allow yourself to become a vessel to receive love, universal love. We're so going to do this today, and move it from you toward the spaces and places that you desire to bring it, whether it's to LA or Gaza or wherever you want to send it. We all need it. We all need it. Even those of us who are sitting in our privilege, even those of us who are sitting in our beautiful bedrooms talking to 20 people on YouTube, we all deserve to be on the receiving end of love, of divine love, so that we can give love, and really opening ourselves to the receptivity piece so that we can give from a full vessel. So that piece came through. Going back to Kuan Yin, I'm being drawn toward where I taught a class this morning with my Earth and Ether collective, and we were talking about the throat chakra, which is mine has been on the fritz for quite some time. I think the wind, and also finding my own voice in what's happening in the world has it a little frizzled. But where we went this morning in the Earth and Ether collective, which was coming through for us today, was to the throat chakra, to Gavora and Hesed on the Judaic tree of life. And you see me doing this, Gavora and Hesed, because on the tree of life and in the Kabbalah school that I attend, we talk about Gavora, which is discernment, and Hesed, which is compassion. We talk about it on either shoulder. Gavora is on the left pillar, it's on the sacred feminine pillar, and Hesed is on the right. It is the divine masculine. And one might think they should be reversed because one thinks of compassion as being an inherently feminine. I shouldn't say it quite like that, but I think you know what I mean. It, compassion tends to be more of a feminine flow, but on the tree of life, the compassion is moving from us in flow, and anything that is masculine moves out from us. So compassion is considered masculine, and Gavora is discernment. It is knowing, connected to your heart, when to say no. It is using compassionate judgment, bringing them together. But I feel them. And when I'm doing energy work and when I'm working on our bodies, I feel all of that here in our throat. So using your voice, all this to say, using your voice with compassion and discernment. We're being invited to speak out from a place of compassion and discernment. And just to contrast what would be Gavora and Hesed in shadow, Gavora would be, judging and criticizing really harshly, using your words to judge and criticize harshly, rather than using a compassionate no as a complete sentence. And on the Hesed side, Hesed in shadow, compassion in shadow becomes people pleasing. It becomes people pleasing in and at the expense of your own self. So again, turning yourself into that vehicle for receptivity, turning yourself into a vehicle for divine love, allowing yourself to receive, and then speaking out from a place of discernment and from a place of compassion, which comes from being fully connected to your Tiferet, to your heart center. So that was the next thread of energy that came through. And this last one, because I drew the cards, I might not share them, share this last thread, and I might move right into uh, a little bit of a meditation, but I feel compelled to share because I actually drew the cards for us. It did really show that so many of us are like ramping up toward action. And so it relates to the other threads of energy that came through in that what I drew the Knight of Cups. I drew the Knight of Wands. So it's so two like very active, a lot of forward momentum here. The Knight of Cups is typically a messenger of love, bringing love out into the world. Sometimes it's like a little bit of like I will love you for today, but not tomorrow. So it's not always a lasting love. It's not a king. It's not a an embodiment of love. It's more like a I'm dipping in and I'm moving toward, and maybe I'll stay, but maybe I won't. And the Knight of Wands, which is that like creative spark, also. So that love combined with the forward momentum. The Knight of Wands is the fastest moving card in the deck, and he just goes really, really quickly. I was using the light seer, so it's a she uh, in that particular deck, but it very much has this forward moving momentum. But then we sort of come to a precipice and we look out. What I came to, the last card that I drew was the Three of Wands, which is like, okay, we've got all of this momentum, we're moving toward the precipice, and now we're looking out. We've made a decision, we know where we're going to go, but we haven't actually leapt yet. And that feels in alignment with what came through around receiving, around allowing yourself to receive and become a vessel of receptivity for love, a vessel of receptivity for energy, so that we can really ramp up and just go. And the card underneath, the card at the bottom of the deck was the star, which has come up for this collective. It just keeps coming up for me. I've been holding the mantra for several weeks now, and I believe I've even mentioned it here of expect miracles. I believe in miracles, expect miracles. And so holding the vessel open, allowing yourself to receive, ramping up your energy, getting to the precipice and shouting over the canyon, I expect miracles. I believe in miracles is the way we are going to get to healing this deep grief inside of us. And again, for some of us, it's not just the grief of the collective. It's not just the grief of the world, but there's some personal grieving going on. I could really feel where where so many individuals in this collective are ramping up towards something and getting ready to leap as well. But there's like shedding and grieving in all of that. Even as you're ramping up, it's like, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. But it's like, oh, what if I can't? And that frequency was very much in here too. And I just want to say, and I'm going to keep saying this because I feel like the only way we can energetically call in a better world, again, not letting go of, not discounting the actual activism that needs to happen. I'm not saying that that shouldn't happen, and I'm not telling you to wait if you're ready. I'm not saying any of those things. What I'm saying is shore up the foundation, and each time you find yourself moving toward grief, whether it's personal or on a global level, each time you find yourself moving toward grief, I want you to insert, I expect miracles. Expect miracles. I believe in miracles. I believe in miracles. What we're doing with that, and this came up in the Earth and Ether Collective this morning as well, we're actually like rewiring our nervous system to believe in the newer timeline, believe in what's possible. I feel like, and I'm going to get real here for a minute. I feel like, it's not to say I haven't been real, but frank, I guess I should say. I feel like one of the main reasons we are where we are globally, and it's many layered, but one of the reasons we are where we are is because we've become so complacent. Become so jaded. We've become so like, ugh, another day, ugh, another this, ugh, another that. And in doing so, we tell our systems, we tell the system to accept it, to accept what's happening as, oh, well, this is just what happens, and I can't do anything about it. And I'm telling you that you can, and that it starts with, I believe in miracles. I expect miracles, to beginning to hold the frequency of, I expect something better. I know there's something better. The guy out there also expects something better, or he just encountered a deer. Um, but we're being invited to rewire our own nervous systems, to rewire the collective nervous system, to expect better. And in expecting better and not giving in to the grief and not giving into the complacency and not giving into the, there's nothing else I can do. It's just little old me. I can't do anything. Fucking expect miracles and hold that frequency in your system that says this can actually happen. We can change this. We can shift this. But as soon as we go into, ugh, that's where it all goes. And I feel like so many of us are walking around right now going, or worse, weeping and crying. And there's nothing wrong with the grief. We have to feel what we feel, but we can't stay there. We have to keep moving, and we have to keep telling ourselves to expect miracles, programming, rewiring ourselves to expect better than what is, and to believe that what is out there can be better, that we're not just meant to give up, that we need to keep fighting, but we need to tell our nervous systems that that's what we're doing here. We're not giving in. We're expecting more. We're expecting more from ourselves, and we're expecting more from the world. We're expecting more from the divine. Yeah. I feel like there's more I want to say. I'm going to just look at the time here. Oh, we've been going a while. We've been going a while. I feel like I'm meant to teach an entire course, and this may be coming, on how to regrow our collective foundation. One of the reasons I feel like we are where we are, and some of you know, have had this conversation with me before, and it's something that I'm gradually awakening to, but I feel like we lost our connectivity with God. We lost our connectivity with the divine. We became these lone wolves who dismissed the church, and for good reasons, who dismissed organized religion with good reason, but who then dismissed our connectivity with our highest self, our connectivity with spirit. We lost all of that. And then we go to this place of, the new age, and I guess that's where I live because I do these weird things, but we go to the new age of, I'm just going to meditate and beam love and beam peace and beam goodness and find joy and dance and move, and it's all going to be okay. But we don't have the foundation of connectivity with divinity. We don't have the language of spirit. We don't have the foundation of spirit. And I feel like that is also part of what's happening in the world, and part of my antidote for it, part of why I'm here, why I'm doing this, is to help rebuild the foundation, a foundation that's not based in dogma, that's not based in patriarchy, but based on a system that works, a system where the divine masculine is equally as important as the divine feminine, and we don't get flow, we don't get to heaven, we don't get to the upper realms, we don't get to the higher levels unless they're both in balance. And we've come so out of balance, and we've dismissed so much of the foundation that we don't even know how or where to begin. And so that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm showing up and teaching, channeling, occasionally doing meditation and energy work. I feel like more of that will be coming. But that's why I'm here. And since I promised a little bit of a meditation and some energy work, I think I am going to do that. If you want to sign off and come back, you can feel free to do that. If you're in a place where you are able to stay with me and close your eyes and get quiet, I'm going to invite you to do that with me as well. Hmm. So let's go ahead and start by taking some nice deep breaths together. Breathing in and sinking your breath all the way down into your belly, into your pelvic bowl. And then exhaling and allowing for a nice deep exhale. You see me unrolling my neck. I'm just coming all the way into my body here, and I invite you to do the same. One more inhalation, breathing in, sinking your breath down, filling your belly. Maybe put your hands on your belly, filling your pelvic bowl, feeling your pelvic bowl expand, and then weighting your butt down in your seat, almost like you're one of those stuffies with sand in the bottom to help you stand up. I want you to weight your bottom to your chair. And then exhale and let it all go. One more deep breath in, sinking your breath down, filling your belly, filling your pelvic bowl, and exhaling and allowing your breath to breathe you fully into the present moment. Allowing your breath to bring you fully in to your physical body. Allowing your breath to bring you fully in to your energetic being. And allowing your exhale to be a deep, deep release, letting go of anything that isn't in service of your highest unfolding, sending it all out into the ethers, trusting that if anything is in fact meant for you, it will return to you, knowing that ours is a benevolent universe and we cannot possibly lose that which is meant for us. I'm going to invite you to draw your attention to your root. So feel into your root chakra. It's in your perineum. It's between your genitals and your anus. You can pull all of those muscles in nice and tight, 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 tight. And on your next exhalation, I want you to visualize a thick taproot moving from your perineum, from your root, down into your chair, into the floor, into the foundation of your home or building that you're in, and right into the earth below you. Good. And I want you to pause there with your taproot just into the earth beneath you. And I want you to see if you can notice a pulse, 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 coming from the center of the earth, radiating up from the heart of Mama Gaia. Pulse, pulse, pulse. pulse. And when you're ready, I want you to tune your taproot into that pulse. And I want you to allow your root to be pulsed down toward the heart of Mama Earth. Let her beckon you through all of her layers of rock and sand, and silt and mud and water table, deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper toward the center of the earth. We're not going to tap into the heart of Mama Earth today. We're going to stop a little short. And so I want you to feel that pulse. I want you to sink your root down. I want you to draw it down. Let her rhythm guide you. And I want you to look with your taproot. I want you to feel with your taproot for the crystalline grid that we spoke of. For some of you, it's going to look like the mycelium of a mushroom. For some of you, you'll see quartz crystal or rose quartz or amethyst. I want you to slowly pulse your taproot toward this grid of connectivity that runs through all of the ley lines, that runs through all of the earth, beneath the oceans, uniting us all together. We're looking for that grid. And I want you to know, because I can hear some of you feeling like, I feel like I'm making this up. I want you to know that what we're doing here is what I call consciousness in service of sentience. We're using our imaginations in service of our deep knowingness. So we're allowing ourselves to imagine this. We're allowing ourselves to use our very useful mind in any way it wants to be used right now in service of this deeper knowingness in your system. So if you feel like I'm just making this shit up, I'm not seeing anything, I want you to know that's okay, that's perfect, as long as it feels good. As long as it feels good, let yourself make up the story, let yourself visualize what's happening, and just draw that root down and look for the grid, look for the mycelium. And I want you to just hold short of dipping into it, unless you've dipped into it already. If you've already gone in, that's just fine. Some of you have been doing this kind of work with me before, and you know the assignments. You can move on ahead. But if you're new to this, I want you to locate the grid or where you think the grid is, and I just want you to pause right there for a moment. And on your next inhalation, just want you to sink your taproot down into the grid and notice what you feel. Allow your roots to enter into the grid and invite that universal love, that collective love to come up into your taproots. Allow it to move all the way up through your taproot into your perineum, and visualize all of that universal love moving all the way through your central channel and coming out the crown of your head, moving in all directions, like a fountain of universal love surrounding you. Allow it to sink back down into the earth. Allow it to be gathered up by the grid. And I just want you to keep breathing that universal love all the way up and through your system. Allow yourself to be nourished by it. Allow yourself to be filled with it. I often experience this universal love energy, and I know it sounds a little corny, but I often experience it as pink and sparkly. And today it's actually more like golden glitter. I'm experiencing it like golden glitter today. I don't know what that means, but I'm just moving it all the way up and through my own central channel. But if you can imagine it moving through the central channel of the collective, all of the beings who are part of this YouTube channel and our larger communities, just moving that universal love up and through, allowing it to fill your cup, allowing it to fill you to your core, allowing it to be so abundant that it moves from you, spills around you, surrounds you, moves back down into the earth. And there's so much that we just move it all the way up and through again. Beautiful. I just want you to take a moment to turn your attention to the end of your taproot, to that place connected into the grid, into the collective mycelium. And I just want you to see if you can follow that universal love all the way through beneath the earth. You can follow it to one particular place that you want to visit. Just follow the tracing. We have a cat coming in. Follow the tracing of the grid to some place on this planet that needs a little extra love, needs a little extra attention, and follow it all the way up and bring that universal love into the place that you desire to send it, sending it to Los Angeles, sending it to Gaza, sending it to Sudan, sending it to wherever you feel called to bring it. Before we say goodbye, I'm going to invite you to connect with your own heart center and your own compassion, your own love, your own magic. And without emptying your cup, without emptying your own vessel, with continued receptivity and receiving of universal love all the way through your system, and then the light of spirit moving down and through, I invite you to flavor that universal love with your own gift, your own magic, your own unique flavor of magic, whether it's joy, compassion, love, truth, beauty. Flavor it with your own delightful magic. And without giving your energy away, I want you to allow your own gift to move down and through your taproot and into the grid, sending your own unique magic, your own unique flavor of love, of joy, of comfort, of care, wisdom, grounding, whatever feels most unique to you. Maybe there's a color, maybe there's even a color change. You send your magic along that path of universal love, remembering that we're not giving our own energy away, and we're in no danger of losing our sovereignty. This is just a little kiss of our own gifts, just a little kiss of our own magic, moving through the system and coming back to us tenfold, hundredfold, a thousandfold, as it moves back into our own system, replenishes us, and comes up and through and out and around again. For those of you who can stay here for a few more moments and give and receive and give and receive, I invite you to do so. For those of you being called to your next task, your next act, your next phase of the day, I'm going to invite you to take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, begin to invite yourself back into your physical body. So calling yourself back, calling yourself back. And inhaling, wiggling your fingers and toes, calling yourself back on the exhale, calling yourself back, all the way back. And one last inhale, maybe giving yourself a hug if that feels good, rolling your neck from side to side, flittering your eyes open, calling yourself back fully into present time and present space. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you so much for doing this work with me. Know that each time you tune in to one of my messages, you are putting your own energy into this collective so that we're co-creating the work that happens here together. This is not just me pulling things out of the ether. This is me feeling into you and you co-creating the experience you need from me. So please, oh please, oh please know that you're doing this with me. If you feel called, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thank you.